Uh, Testing. I made a mistake and dubbed this stream on Twitch as Lemmings. We are not playing Lemmings. I am done with that game. Hello. Sorry, this is... Hi, testing. Hi, Eric. How are you? Oh, wait. You're asking how I'm doing. I'm alright. I just had spaghetti bolognese. I've got 2 chocolate bars. They're called Wacko bars. I promise you that's not a slur of some kind. It's a weird... It's like a caramel chocolate biscuit bar, which is pretty nice. So I got those, got a bottle of water, I just had some vegetables, and I messed up the start of the stream really badly, so I'm not sure. So everything seems to be okay on the YouTube end, I hope. Because I did, like, end it prematurely, then restarted it. This is some weirdly emotional music for a stream where I blabber on about anime for like 2 hours straight. You know, I ain't gonna change that. Actually, maybe I should. What? I always pick like a random like playlist from Dover Syndrome because I know that's like copyright free. Okay, what's that? What's happening now? This is the music that plays when I have like a spicy take. Oh, that's funny. I'll be cooking spaghetti bolognese as well tonight. Nice. Also, hello Backslash. Hello Colin as well. Hey, I could finally join in, though I'm kind of dead tired right now, so I'll be lurking around. No worries, you don't have to say much of anything. I'll be waffling through as I had before. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of these streams. At least these anime streams. I enjoy these streams, I think. I was worried the other day. I was like, man, the Lemming stream, it isn't that, like, there wasn't many people in it or anything like that. It was just me playing and getting frustrated at the game because I was like, this isn't fun. I'm not having fun playing this game. So, in case people weren't there for that, I'm going to be swapping that out with a different either game or some sort of funny, goofy stream at some point. So, we'll see where we go with that. Yeah, and, you know, I have both the YouTube chat and the Twitch chat open, so hello and welcome. Where I will be going through and making a list from scratch. This is the 3rd stream. I admittedly failed to, like... Give me a second. My watch is giving me a notification. I got a badge from some sort of fitness app. Also, my battery's low. Let me take off my watch on that thing and charge it up. Okay, that's out of the way. Oh, that's funny. I'll be cooking spaghetti bon. Yeah, sorry. I was supposed to reply to that. I'm happy for you. Spaghetti bolognese is always good. Hello, Loven. Loven Dark. Welcome. Welcome. Is that how they say it? Welcome, welcome. Oh wait, the music stopped. Sorry, I'm getting like flashbanged by how the whiplash of the music is like getting to me. How far along are you in making of the list? Okay, so we're just about to finish 2023. I've got 2 other shows to add to the list, and then we'll be moving on to 2022. I have figured out the way I'm gonna do it. Like, I figured it out in the 2nd stream. In the 1st stream, I already said that, like, I was waffling and trying to... Hands waving in the air right now, just imagine that. Like, everything was a mess. By stream 2, I realized, okay, if I go through them all, open up every single tab until I get down to the point, I'll be like, okay, this is how many anime I can talk through. So that's what we'll be doing. And some of these are already done because from later years I've gone backwards on related animes to like briefly touch on them. So that's why some of these are already like marked as done. So yeah. Yeah, it's like staple food, tasty, cheap, and easy to make. That's true. That's true. The other day I tried cooking what you call it? Oh, what? It was a ready meal from Aldi's, but it was like a cottage pie, I think. No, it wasn't. My mum gave me an Abisto ready meal. She said, "Oh, I had this in my freezer. You can have it." I thought, "Yeah, okay, cool. I'll have it." I left it out for a bit to let it defrost, and then I put it in the air fryer, thinking, "Okay." So I just followed the instructions. You know, pop the little holes in the plastic at the top. I'm losing my thought here. And I put it in there, and I thought, "Okay, that's cool." And then I left it in there for like 10 minutes, and I thought, "Okay, this is nice." And then I started smelling plastic, and I thought, "That's not right." And so my air fryer was so hot that it melted the plastic on top of the plastic wrapper that was on top of the ready meal. Now, it says in the instructions you're supposed to keep the plastic on top and just poke some holes in it, which I did. It was so hot that it evaporated the plastic, which is obviously bad for me. I had to open all the windows and cover up my mouth. But I've never had that happen before. Actually, maybe it has happened, but I'm not trusting Abisto for ready. What is this music? This is me fighting my air fryer as like plastic burns kind of music. Okay, whatever, man. I have an Annie list, but I haven't updated in so long. Trust me, when I'm done with this Annie list, I'm probably not going to update it for like a few months, knowing me. So, yeah. You're not alone. The last two shows on the list, which I couldn't do last time because I didn't have time, is Bang Dream, It's My Go, and Uma Musume Season 3, specifically. Now, we gotta change this music, man. This is a bit... Yeah, whatever, this one. The music isn't working in my favor today. Yeah, and we'll go backwards from here because I've watched the entirety of Bang Dream and I've watched the entirety of Uma Musume. We'll start with Uma Musume. I watched season 3, and I thought it was good. It's not. In my opinion, it's not the strongest of the 3 seasons. If I had to put like a list, I'd say that season 2 is the best one, and season 3 is kind of like a weird up-down motion, is how I would describe that season, where it hits a lot of the highs, and then every time you think it's going to end, it continues onto another story beat, and then it reaches another high, then comes back down again. It's weird. Very weird show. Weird season specifically. And yeah, there was an anniversary special, which was kind of like a teaser for what the sequel to season 2 was going to be before they announced a season 3, from my understanding. What is this? Man, I gotta... You know what? I'm gonna open up... You know what would be easier? I'll just pick this random one. Yeah, this one will do, whatever it is. Wait, hold on a second. No fucking way. Okay, never mind. We can't use that one. That one took me fucking by surprise. Okay, let me Dover Syndrome Animal Crossing. That was a search thing. No, this isn't. I want songs like Animal Crossing. Okay, whatever. Dover Syndrome has a the YouTube channel, and on that channel is a playlist. And on that playlist, there's a lot of things in Japanese that I can't read. So I'm just gonna click one and hope for the best. This one has 155 videos. Okay, that's cozy. That sounds cozy. Hopefully the rest of it is cozy. Right, back at it. Where was I? Oh yeah, the special. Yeah, I mean, it's special. I don't really have much to say about that. Season 2 will always be my favorite season. And I think was the start of me spamming it and getting everyone to watch it. I basically, like, when my sister flew to Japan one time, I can't remember how long ago it was, I put the entirety of season 2 on a memory stick and handed it to her. I said, "Here, watch this on your flight." And tried, and that's how I got her to like the season. Or that maybe that might have been her gateway. I don't know. That says watching. That should be set to smiley face. I'd have seen that. So that's season 1. Season 2 then has a spin-off, which is the movie. Well, this is not a movie. It is now a movie. This is really confusing. Because like there's a version here that says Road to the Top movie. This was done by a different studio. Actually their own studio to be more exact. Cygames released put together their own studio just to make Uma Musume anime. Is brilliant. A brilliant use of gacha money if you have to spin some kind of positive light on gacha exploiting gambling habits for people. But yeah, this OVA, which is 4 episodes released on YouTube, I would highly recommend it. It comes with the episodes on YouTube also have English subtitles. I will also brag and say I know the person who did the translation for that and works at Cygames. So, you know, that's my endorsement. Go check it out. Road to the Top is an OVA. You don't need to watch the rest of the series to watch it. It's 4 beautifully well animated pieces of art to me. So yeah, we'll add that in. I'll add that to a like because I really like that one. Hi, Michael. And hi to anyone else I may have missed, just in case. There's a lot of people today. I gotta do more anime streams, it seems like. Well, no, I'll just do what I always do, to be honest. So, there's a movie version of this. I believe it's just the same content. I don't know if there's any additional things added. So I'm just gonna put that on plan to watch since I have that Blu-ray imported. I'm joking. I know it doesn't have subtitles. It should have subtitles though. That would. I don't know if it has subtitles. Huh. Well, we'll figure that one out. Nice to see everyone on in the chat saying hi to each other. Like everyone. It warms my heart. Not because you're here to watch me, but I'm just kind of sat here zipping water and seeing everyone just have a good time chat to each other. This is nice. This music is helping now. Okay, so there was an OVA spin-off thing. No, like these shorts. They're like chibis. You know, some anime does that. Now that's the funny thing about this one. This one isn't linked to the other one for some reason. Here it is, the first one. And then there was ones released on Blu-ray. It's confusing. I'm not gonna try and connect the dots. No, is it? You're right. That's better, isn't it? You could. Okay, I fixed the audio. Sorry about that. A bit more chill now. I can see the audio mixer telling me the sound is coming through. I have seen this one too. Yeah, these are the Blu-ray ones. Nice. If there's any other issues, let me know and I will fix the problems. except for me being in poverty. That one I'm working on. All right. So that's that. There was a spin-off. This gets really confusing. Okay, so and then there was the movie. So this one's an OVA to season 1. Season 1's a weird one because season 1's very like it's the beginnings, and there were a lot of issues with season 1 from like the animation not really great, and the way they wrote the this is one of the weirdest cases where season 1 Uma Musume kind of functions similarly to like an Idolmaster. Like in Idolmaster, the game, you are a producer. In Uma Musume, you are a trainer who picks a horse girl and you train them, right? And so the trainer they have as the main character, well, not really the main character, but the main trainer in season 1 isn't great because he's like beating up the girl's legs and doing all sorts of weird things. It's very out of character. And then for some reason, it's really funny because in season 2, it's like he bumped his head on, or someone pushed him down some stairs, and he suddenly became a good trainer out of nowhere. He stopped doing the weird, like, touching the leg thing, and he just became a good person. I really don't know what happened there, but I want to know. I want to know what was the meeting between season 1 and 2 that led to them to change his character and personality. He got sued, didn't he? Oh, the trainer, dude. Sure, let's say he did. And so let's put that aside. Oh, hey, once you get monetized, we can work on that one together. Oh, thank you. It'll be a while. I said before, I'm not planning monetization until like. Sorry, I took it seriously when you said he got sued, didn't he? And my brain was like, was there an actual thing that happened? Because trainers are based on real life. Each trainer is like voice actor, looks like the anime version of the character looks like the actual voice actor in person. For example, in season 2, one of the horse girls, Mihono Bourbon, her trainer is just a really buff dude, and he's voiced by the guy who voices Kiryu Kazuma from the Yakuza series, and he dresses like that in real life. It's really funny. He didn't get much of an appearance, but like he's there as a cameo, and he is and in season that's a running gag in season 3 as well. He's like shirtless most of the time. It's just weird gags. This show's great. When you mentioned like he got sued, I thought about like how the fact I think Konami sued Cygames over a patent in regards to how the game plays. I did a research into that because there was so much misinformation or confusion over what particular thing that they were suing over. Konami has a few patents that are a bit weird. It sounded like that Konami needed money, and Uma Musume was quite literally $1 billion company, and then they thought they could grab a piece of the pie. I'm not really sure how it concluded, or if an out of court settlement happened, but that was a weird thing that happened. Anyway, we're here to talk about new. Wait, let me go back to here. I already talked about this one, and I showed the trailer in like the first season, in the first part of my videos. Yeah, probably one of my favorite movies of last year. It's second highest rated 2024. Is that actually true? Yeah, it is. Oh wow. Okay. Well, you didn't even need to hear it from my mouth. The people have spoken. You should go watch Uma Musume, the movie. All right, moving on. Yeah, and Uma Musume Cinderella Grey is. I actually don't know how many episodes this is gonna be because this is like an ongoing manga still, and The best way I could describe it is based around Ogiri Cap, and Ogiri Cap is basically, in my opinion, the Goku of Uma Musume. I've said that so many times before to people planning to watch. I almost clicked watched. I think it's going to be insanely good. I don't know how many episodes, but I'm very excited they're doing it. So, sorry, I can't get over this fucking picture. They are the creator of the person who does the story and writing for Cinderella Grey manga. The best way I could describe Cinderella Grey is like it's the most shonen of all the Uma Musume content, at least from what I've read in the manga. The manga's very intense in a very cool way, so yeah, that's my shining recommendation. What basically all of Uma Musume. And if you do watch it, I will forever love you. I'd be grateful you did. Okay, and that's everything for Uma Musume. Now let's move on to 2023's best show of... What do you mean it was the 12th highest? What is the highest that year? Free Rent. Okay, that's fair. I still think this show is better than most anime I've watched in 2023. That's a personal opinion, and this was one of the also few cases where it's like a 3D anime. I already talked about it before. I'm pretty sure I have talked about it, but I used to be very cynical towards like 3D anime in general, and like, oh, it's not great, it's not the best thing ever, or I kind of recoil at the idea of watching it. And then I grow up. And then I watched a few that I really like. Some of my favorite anime is 3D now that I think about it, like Beastars or Dorohedoro or Land of the Lustrous. And My Go is just one of the many also really good one of those. It's also a very good girl band anime. I know another recent one that was popular was what you call it? Girls Band Cry. And if you like that, you'll definitely like this. And this show's got a second season. Well, technically it's not really a second season, it's another group, but it is technically a sequel, and you can't watch this without watching that one. So, man, I really want to put on that creepy trailer. Has anyone seen the creepy trailer for Ave Mujica? Give me a second, I'm gonna pause and then play this trailer. And hopefully I don't get, like, banned. Can I just, like, zoom in?
それでなんで私に愛って意味の名前をつけたの？さきちゃんとずっと一緒にいたいって夢が叶ったから入る。
Wait, this is the wrong trailer. I won't show you that one. Give me a second. I want to show you the trailer. I'm gonna get in... Can I... Will I get in trouble for it? Whoa. Sorry, I just saw... I was confused what I was looking at just now. I like the creepy trailer. Give me the creepy trailer. The trailer that sold me on this. Okay. This one. Sorry, you're all gonna have to sit here and watch me gush over Bang Dream for a bit. Ah! There's a naked man. Get out of my...
Because it's season doesn't mean your teeth will be less sensitive. Hot food and drinks can trigger
Shut the fuck up.
But luckily, Colgate...
We're gonna watch this terrible Colgate advert. Oh, I do need to buy toothpaste. That is good. That is... No thanks.
共に音楽を奏でる運命共同体となるのです。運命か。なんで私なの？共にの歌詞は心の叫びですから。
I won't get copyright strike, will I?
私たちの歌ですもんね。すごいよクラシック。また必ずライブいたしましょう。クラシックをやめさせていただきますわ。またやりたいって話してたよね。ともりはお前を待ってたんだよ。でもバンドさきちゃんがいない。楽しいって思ったこと一度もない。お願い。全部
Yeah, it's fucking creepy. I love it. Anyway, sorry, I'm going back. I'll stop doing that now. Hopefully I don't get banned. My stream don't get banned for doing that. I am watching this. It is how many episodes in? Maybe 9 episodes. Wait, let me double check. 7, 8. Okay, 9's about to come out, so which is tomorrow. And there's a manga. Okay, anyway, yeah, this was my favorite show of that year. Both shows, this and its sequel, are tonally, well, they are similar. I'm not denying that. This one has more of an emotional kind of build up towards making a band, whereas Ave Mujica feels more, its sequel feels more like a murder mystery, just because of how of the darker themes it explores. So, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of Bang Dream here. I don't know if I want to do this. There are 2 movies. There's this one, which I haven't seen. This includes extra content with one of the characters. This one is the sequel to that. Planning. Oh wait, let me put on YouTube. There we go. Ah, that's better. I'm calming down. There's a prequel manga based on one of the characters. This was drawn by Yuama, who is known for drawing Yuri. Well known for drawing one particular Doom to Yuri manga. I would also recommend that. I think only 2 chapters are out. Maybe 3 since I last checked, so yeah, we'll check that out. And then, cool, that's all of that, the new generation of Bang Dream. And then there's a whole other thing with... Alright, we'll get through this one quickly and then we'll jump into 2022. So there's a movie, which is the conclusion to the main Bang Dream stuff. Yeah, it was cute. There's a 3rd season, which is also pretty good. We'll go backwards a second. There's a 2nd season. So the weird thing about this show, when I went to watch it after my go, because like I'm interested in what Bang Dream has. OG Bang Dream is more akin to like a Love Live. So if you're looking for that kind of energy, that's that kind of thing. And the weird thing about season 1 is that it's 2D animated, and then after that it shifts towards being 3D. Season 1's kind of messy, but that from that point onwards I enjoyed it. But okay, so let me there's a lot of things here I have to like make sure I don't. Oh right, and yeah, they at one point they did like a boy band version of it, but it failed so badly that they detached the name Bang Dream off it. I tried watching a few episodes of it and it's extremely boring, which I have nothing else to say about it. You know, I'll come back to it, but I don't know if I should. It's not really considered Bang Dream, so I don't really care about it anymore. Put it on hold. Pause, that's better. Very weird particular season. Alright, I've got 2 YouTube chats open for some reason. So let me do that, move that a second. Got 1 Twitch chat. Hi Pave Dreamer, how are you? Yo, Leonon, welcome as well. Yes, I was briefly talking about all the Bang Dreams and going through them as quickly as possible because I already gushed about some of it, but yeah, yeah, this series bombed. This was like their attempt at doing a boys version of Bang Dream, and I pulled I stopped watching it because it was really boring. It's so bad that I don't think this show is bad. I think just the whole idea of doing it didn't go as planned, and it ultimately just kind of went off. It's similar to how like Idolmaster has like Side M, and that actually did end up being a success. So I don't know. These were detached, but yeah, they don't they don't acknowledge it. Basically, it's like how Nintendo. No, it's like how the Pokemon Company doesn't. When they did their little anniversary for Pokemon, they always exclude Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, even though those are great games in my opinion. I'm sorry, but the boys can't mix with the girls. To be fair, yeah. I don't usually say that, but like Bang Dream's a pretty gay show. it was a bit. It's a bit of a weird one. This is a film live. It's basically all the characters getting together and performing a live for like an hour or two. They did 2 of them, and the second one was really good. It's basically like a live. The second one I know is like a live recording, and they put it and they did all 3D. The 3D one. So I want a mixed group show for once, funnily. Create the biggest disaster. I would say that, like, if we're talking about band shows that came out, I guess The Colors Within counts, because it's 2 girls and a guy. Well, that was a pretty good one. That's a good movie. I would recommend it. How many... Okay, there's a lot of Bang Dream, and I have watched nearly all of it. So, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get for these. Now, okay, we'll go back to here. This would be the one where... That OVA, oh god, that OVA, we don't want to... If people wonder which Bang Dream fan I am, I'm a Roselia fan. Roselia is just, in my opinion, one of my favorites. So, I really like that movie, that second one. These movies are weird because you need to know some things about like the game and some of the characters to actually fully understand it. I own this manga as well. You should buy it while you can if you care about it, because it was printed by Tokyopop, and I got 2 perfect condition versions of these volumes. Also, hello, Call Eater, welcome. There are lots of people today. I think I can't see. Can someone in YouTube drop a random message? I think I may have broken YouTube's chat. Because it's telling me no one's here, even though there was like a bunch of people in that chat a moment ago. Anyone, say something. Oh, okay, it's gone through. Never mind, that's fine. It's just because the part it tells me who is in it, and it wasn't. I had like 2 YouTube chats open. I was really confused. Okay, we are done talking about Bang Dream. No, we're not. We got these OVAs. These OVAs, at this point, I'm not really gonna dwell into it. I already just added that. This OVA was good. That's actually pretty high up. Give that a like. This OVA is terrible. It's a beach episode, and it was kind of the most surface level. It's exactly what you'd expect from a beach episode. And yeah, I love this banner image as well. This kind of sums up the tone of this the Chibi series, which is kind of borderline insane at times. Sorry, I'm into the music here. What is this? It's pretty good. Okay, so there's 3 seasons of that, and there'll probably be a 4th season when My Go Ave Magica ends. Alright, we're done. Yay! We're only like 40 minutes in, and I haven't even started 2022. I knew that was I knew that would happen. I'm gonna eat one of my Wacko bars. Why is it called a Wacko bar? Oh, give me a second. Okay. Sorry. I didn't think it was possible to choke on a caramel chocolate bar, but... I started watching I Shall Survive using potions based on your recommendation last time. I like it so far. Very fun. I'm glad you like it. Very underrated show. I went off about it last time, but it made me laugh. That show just made me laugh a lot. I think because just for people who weren't there last stream, I picked it up randomly because I thought the poster looked goofy and be fun to laugh at. And then the premise is just ridiculous in a way that I was like, you know what? It went from laughing at it to laughing with it, so I really like that show. It's unintentionally funny at times, but also, I don't know, it's great. I recommend it if you just want something to get your brain on. Okay, we're gonna move to here, so I'm gonna go through here. Chainsaw Man, Edge Runners. Should I watch Blue Lock? All I saw was a clip of a guy running around with his tongue sticking out like a moron. I was thinking, I think as a British person who has seen football, no one ever takes football that seriously unless you're like pretending to get injured like every single football player in the world. Sorry, that's my like one complaint about football as a British person, is that I find that sport deeply embarrassing when I see someone trip over and then he acts like someone's like broke his leg. Fucking pussies. Sorry. I'm getting mad thinking about it. That's why I have respect for rugby to an extent. Yeah, I heard good things about... I've heard a lot of good things about Blue Lock. Yeah, me too. I think I would respect football if they actually took the sport seriously. Like, I can't... If you have to fake, like, a football injury, or act like it's the worst thing that's happened to you, when there's a lot more worse things happening in the world, then... I know that's not really a fair thing to say, you could apply that to anything. But yeah, it's such a very specific pet peeve of mine, which is why I'm not a football person. No, you're right, football is 40% acting. Those boys absolutely take courses in acting academy. True that. I think part of the problem is that it's compared to the UMA anime. Yeah, from my understanding, like, Blue Lock has good animation and then occasionally bad animation, and then comes back to being good animation. It sounds like a very messy, like, thing, whereas Uma Musume started off with messy animation and built, like, better animation over time and got a lot more smooth. And then eventually, you know, like I just said earlier, they basically made their own animation studio. Yeah, that's also the point. Like, was saying it just a moment ago, that the problem with Uma is that, like, it built its entire empire on gacha, which, you know, there are good and bads on it. But I'm not gonna defend it, but yeah, at the same time, like, that's the only way they could have built that studio, was through that money. So maybe there is some positive outlier to it. So who knows? But another excuse to say, go watch the Uma Musume anime. But yeah, Blue Lock is a thing I'll think about. I heard this one's good. Book about that. I am not gonna bother with My Hero Academia. Oh, Licorice Recoil. I need to see that one too. Call of the Night. Fuck, they made they made another Overlord. That looks really stupid. Tomodachi game. Komi can't communicate. Made an Abyss movie. Rent a Girlfriend season. I don't really want to do that. Uncle from Another World was actually I read the manga. Your Boy Coming. Aharon-san. Stone Ocean Part 2. Okay, are we really gonna go through JoJo? Quintuplets movie. I feel like I'm a hypocrite by saying things like I don't like Rent a Girlfriend, but I like the quintuplets. No, you know what? I can defend that actually. I have a good defense for that. I don't like Rent a Girlfriend because I don't like them. I watched the first season and I enjoyed it, but I can't stand the main character. Quintuplets I like because the main character is likable. He's really whether he's intentionally funny or not, I just kind of respect that he has a personality. Yeah, that's fun to watch. My stepmom's daughter is my ex. I'm not doing it. This is what happened last stream, isn't it? Where I opened up like ridiculous premises and titles and was like, I'm gonna watch that. Reincarnated as a Sword had a sick opening. I don't even know anything about this. Yes, other than you reincarnated as a sword. To Your Eternity I wanted to add. Sorry, I'll read the chat in a second. I'm just going down and making new tabs and then I'll read back the chat as I go through. Oh, Akabe-san. Oh, Love After World Domination. The Tunnel. Okay. Some of these are interesting. That one. Witch of Mercury. Isn't this the one about the guy who reincarnated into... Or was it like his best friend and turned in, reincarnated into a girl? Wait, I should watch more I should watch Takagi-san. I watched the first season. I never watched any more because I think I got my fill on what that show is. Kakegurui Twin. I should finish season 2 of Kakegurui. Do It Yourself was great. The fuck is this title? Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it. Let's see. I heard Princess Connect season 2 was good. I didn't know there was a second season of Shadow House. Then again, I've not seen the first season. I think I saw the opening or ending and thought, this is really cool. Yeah, I already added Dragon Ball. This is confusing. I should double check what Arknights that is. Laid Back Camp. It has a movie? Oh god, I think I already talked about that one. That was the OVA. Okay, we're getting to the end here because, like... Oh wait, no, there's a season 2 of it. This is ordered by popularity. Slow Loop. I only know Slow Loop because Slow Loop had a cameo of Kesukuban from Bocchi the Rock. They actually appear in that show in a single frame in the background, playing a band. And in turn, in Bocchi the Rock, one of the characters is holding a keychain of one of the characters from Slow Loop. So that's how I know about that one. Man, do I really want to talk about that one? That's a movie. Sorry, I'm kind of reacting prematurely to things I'm going to talk about. Let's see. Oh, Prima Doll, that was a thing my friend told me about. Non-Biori. Encouragement and Climb. They're still making... There's a movie? That came out in 2020. Yes, 2022! It doesn't feel that long ago, but it was 3 years ago. Oh, this is the show! This is the weird show I was telling you about. The ASMR show? But it kind of gives up that premise literally like in the next episode. I'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, I thought I got far down enough, but like Bang Dream is here. So maybe I have to go down a bit more. I won't add music videos because that gets really confusing then because there's a lot of music videos. Okay, that's enough. So yeah, with that 2022, let's go read the chat. Suzume should be great. Suzume. Oh, is that the Makoto Shinkai film? Let me. Add that. I haven't watched that one. I've always never been like the biggest fan of Makoto Shinkai stuff. They never hit me as hard as I want it to. That sounds weird. I want an anime to hit me in the face. Like, I want it to punch me and knock me out. I haven't watched this one. Planning. And so I probably should get to doing that. I guess I'll use this to quickly talk about all his stuff. So my whole thing was 5 centimeters per second. Children who chases lost. I haven't seen that one. I've seen The Place Promised in our early days. Garden of Words. Obviously Your Name and Weathering with You. So let's quickly go for those. Yeah, 5 centimeters per second. I like that one a lot. It's kind of just a sad movie. I don't know if I should watch... I'd probably be more... I probably liked it a lot back then. I'm not sure if how I'd feel grown up about it now. About how fucked up and real it could be. But I haven't seen that one, so I'll put that on planning. The Place Promised in our early days. I did watch that. I don't remember much of it. I remember going, yeah, that was cool. Garden of Words is my favorite Makoto Shinkai film, but probably because it's very, like, small, scaled back compared to his other works in terms of, like, the overall premise. It just feels nice. I don't know. And it's short. I think that's why I like it. It's short and it doesn't overstay its welcome. I'm not saying that's reflective of the other stuff he's done. Your Name... I think the problem with Your Name for me was that it came out at the same time as Silent Voice, and I know some people don't like comparing the two. I personally don't think you could compare the two. They're two different things doing two different... Yeah, they're doing two different things that makes it hard to compare personally. But probably because I really like Silent Voice, it took the like cake for best film of that time I watched it. So yeah, that one I do like this film a lot though, because it's like feels like an accumulation of everything else he's done up until that point. Weathering with You. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on this one. I didn't think it was the best movie ever, nor was it My Weathering with Japan. I think Your Name was really good. I think this felt like a watered down Your Name in some places, but I think that's a bit dismissive because it's got the plot is not the same at all. All I remember is that it ends with the world's probably gonna die from global warming or something. I vaguely remember that. in the Twitch chat. Garden of Feet, huh? Is there not quite a few shots? There's a few shots of her feet, I guess. I haven't watched it, but that's a funny... Yeah, I think that Garden of Words is... I think people post that shot of her feet for some reason. I'm not a feet person, so I don't really get it, personally. But I ain't kink shaming. If you like feet, you can enjoy your feet. Meteor, okay. Alright, we'll go back. I'm reading... I was reading the chat, so I'm going back up to Suzume. Who knows? There are weird ones. Those weird ones. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I wouldn't have discovered I Shall Survive using potions if it wasn't for me just picking up what I thought was a weird, strange one. Let me just double check something. Alright. Sorry, I'm checking my watch because it's charging. It's charging very slowly. That sounds like what a feet person in denial would say. Saschi. No, I'm not a feet person. I'm a leg person, a hands person, a little armpit, and many other freaky kinks, but I'm not a feet person. I think for me, the thing with feet is that feet are get dirty very easily, so it's not a thing I'm into. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about anime. Defended myself by kink shaming myself. Anyway, moving on. Arknights is a gacha game. Yeah. Sorry, I meant to, when I saw that, I was like, because it said it was an ONA, and I thought it was an airing show, and I was like, wait, isn't that a show? I watched that for a season, or maybe it was just a bunch, like 8 OVAs or something. That was web only. Princess Connect fun. Yeah, I heard it's fun. It's with the director of Konosuba, I believe. I enjoyed the first season, though I can't remember anything that happened in it. But yeah, we'll go into... Sorry, the music like gave me whiplash for a second there. I'm not sure why. Alright, let's go from the top. Chainsaw Man. I think anyone who knows me already knows my opinion on Chainsaw Man. And it's got some very good moments with some troubling, weird animation problems because they try and use 3D in sequences which don't work as well. And then I remember going off on a rant about, like, you know, I don't know what happens behind the scenes, so I'm willing to, like, I'm not gonna say, oh, it's shit, it's terrible. I'm gonna be like, well, there's probably a lot of production issues because we know how notorious MAPPA is when it comes to animation with its own, like, workers. At least what we know out there. But yeah. I like the manga, so I don't have much to say on that. The movie I am excited for, so I am curious about that. Chainsaw Man, Best Girl. I don't have a Best Girl. I guess it would be That's a good question, because I would usually, if I had a Best Girl, I'd probably answer right away, wouldn't I? I think for me it was just more like, I think I like Makima a lot, but I like her more as a villain as opposed to Best Girl, waifu kind of thing. I genuinely think she's a well-written villain. So yeah, that's probably that. So, but if the current Best Girl in the manga, though, I would say is Asa. Yeah, because he's the main character of part 2, and she's like extremely funny because she's like, she thinks she's intelligent. Well, she is kind of smart, but she's also kind of a dumbass at the same time. It's kind of a weird collision of like two things that makes her really funny. Yeah, they do Makima very well. in the anime, I think. And she's Gap Moe, but it's brain instead of Moe. Yeah, Asu's more like entertaining to watch than Denji. When I think about like how they shifted the main characters of her in part 2. She only appears in part 2 onwards, so just for context. But yeah, different main character, but she's like great. I don't know. I'm not gonna add this to like my okay, because it's still ongoing. I'll just click to reading it because I am reading it. I thought they would have split this up in Chainsaw Man Part 1 and Chainsaw Man Part 2, but I guess that's just in the context of the manga as opposed to the actual release. Yeah. Moving on. Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I like this show a lot. I do not care about Cyberpunk, though I am curious to try it out now that the game's is properly fixed up and the DLC and all that. There's a lot of positive things about that game. I did give the anime a try because it was Studio Trigger and I was curious what it was like, and I liked it. I don't know, I didn't think it's the greatest thing ever made, but like it commits to it's like it commits. So I don't really want to spoil it. It goes places, and I think it commits to going down that direction and ends in a pretty, very sad way that I was like, yeah, that made me feel bad. That's great. The only thing I could also say is that Lucy from this show is going to be a character DLC in a fighting game. Guilty Gear, I think. Was it Guilty Gear? Wow, this music got loud. Yeah, let's try it. So yeah. Everything blending together. Only Akira and Ghost in the Shell still stand out after 20. Yeah, I think like as much as I like to praise Bang Dream for its 3D, the way it uses 3D, like there's a lot of like that, and many others don't seem to fully utilize the 2D and 3D. Bang Dream's a weird one because the 3D in that, like the only time it does 2D is when it does a close up of a character, or the weirdest decision is when they make everyone who isn't the main character 2D that is like a family member. Like, so you have scenes where a character's talking to their mom or dad, and it's like their 3D model standing next to a 2D drawing character, and it looks very jarring. It's not great. Yeah, only Akira. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've got a confession. I've not actually seen Akira nor Ghost in the Shell. I have the Blu-rays. They're on my shelf. I should watch those. I'm not going to pretend I have. But I know exactly what you're talking about from what I've seen. It does very good mixing of the two. I've heard good things about Edgerunners, and yeah, Cyberpunk has been polished to a proper state. Shame about the launch trouble. Yeah, there's like a lot of things like that could factor into why that launch was disastrous, but that's a rant for another day. Something game developers should probably be given more time to work on a game instead of being forced to rush something out. And then also over-promising on a game. Yeah. The Amidst Shadow. I've not seen this one. I've heard good things about it. It's got it's 20 episodes. It's got a sequel. I literally don't know much about this. Some people aren't suited to playing the part of the flashy in-your-face hero or the dastardly mustache-twirling villain with larger. Instead, they operate in the shadows. Okay, that's a cool idea. That's the role he wants to. Oh, it's an isekai. Okay, that's cool though. I'll give it a check. I'm game. So it'd be fun to go into that one blind. Mob Psycho Season 3. I think I watched a few episodes, but I'm just gonna say I haven't watched it. I watched Season 2. And Season 2 has like one of the best episodes of anime ever. I think that just Mob Psycho is just a very good show in general. I haven't watched season 3 purely because I don't want it to end kind of logic. Like, I'm putting it off because I know once I see it, I'm never coming back. But yeah, I'll give that one a watch and then hopefully give my thoughts on that. Licorice Recoil. Yeah, the opening songs for Mob Psycho is great. 1, 2, and 3 are really good. If you listen to the very first, if you listen to the full version of the 3rd season's opening, the song ends right where season 1's opening's about to start. It's such a cool little... I like when they do stuff like that. It's a neat little extra they put in. But yeah. Licorice Recoil. I think I need to scroll back because I didn't check the Twitch chat. Sorry, I do apologize. Oh my god, there was a lot of things here. Licorice girls are so cute. They are. I watched this show... Actually, I watched this show for a completely different reason to most people, so I will discuss that in a second. Maybe it's just seen too many Twitter art pieces from Licorice, but the character designs are very good. The show's pretty good until it kind of gets weird towards the end, but I can't talk about it without spoiling it, so I'll leave it at that. Nah, Rent-A-Girlfriend is famously the most frustrating story in recent history. Yeah, okay, I'm glad I got some reassurance there. I reincarnated as... manga's a bit slow. Yeah, I'll probably give the Reincarnated as a Sword anime a try. Sorry, I read a bit of the manga. It's a decent premise, but the manga's a little slow. Yeah. Sasaki and Miyano was cute. Okay, I'll give that one a check. The maid I hired recently is mysterious. Okay. The maths equation is in a tight. That one's weird to me. Yeah, the show with a math equation. The original artist is so nice. Your Name is your favorite anime film ever. I'm glad you got there. I ain't gonna yeah, okay. And we're back up to date. Alright. Where was I? Licorice Recoil. Yeah. I like the show. They should make a second season, though. Because it just kind of ends in a way that I'm just like, I need more. I would recommend it. The reason I like this show is because of the writer. This is more of a deep cut for me. Like, I was all in when I knew who the writer was. The writer is the guy who wrote Bento. Does anyone remember Bento? Someone validate me watching Bento. Bento is a great show. Probably one of my favorite shows of 2011. And I can't recommend this show enough. It's like... I don't know. Gomena, sorry, I'm too young. Oh, I watched this in college, I think. It's just a fun show. I don't know. It's about a guy who goes to a bento store really late at night, and he sees the like store manager put the labels on the food, and as he goes to reach out for it, he gets beaten up. And turns out there's this whole like world he doesn't know where people like fight over discounted bento, and it's like a battle shonen almost, where each store has different people and different characters have different abilities and fighting styles, and it's weirdly sponsored by Sega. Well, I don't know if it's sponsored by Sega, but it advertised Sega in like a couple of episodes. Bento's ridiculous premise made me go, holy shit, it's great, and all the characters are fun and entertaining. That's why when I saw Licorice Recoil, or I saw like who was writing it, I like Like, only me specifically was like, wait a second, I know that writer. It was just specifically at me. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go watch it. So yeah, go watch Bento. It's I think it holds up today. There's a Blu-ray release that you can download somewhere because yeah, they didn't release it over here in the UK, so I can't physically own it. Like a no, they did release it. I think it was like a DVD only though, and I want to own a Blu-ray of it. There's a Blu-ray version, so you can get a torrent of that somewhere. Yeah, that's my advertisement for piracy. If you're poor, you ball. Alright, moving on. Visual style, Licorice. Yeah, Licorice Recoil's got like a beautiful art style as well. I enjoyed that show a lot. I have issues towards the end, but that's mostly just from a narrative perspective. I think for me it was more like, I wouldn't spoil, but certain aspects where I thought this is a cool idea that they kind of backpedaled on. I was like, oh, okay. And the way it ends makes me go, okay, I hope they make a sequel of this one day, because there's cool stuff. Alright, moving on. Call of the Night. I really like the opening. I haven't seen the show. I've read like a few chapters of the manga that I really like it. This is the same artist who does the Sweet Shop show, right? Yeah, the Gashi Kashi. The Gashi Kashi. I enjoyed that. I think it changed like art style in the second season. Yeah, it did. But I'll come back to that. Go back to Call to the Night. Yeah, I plan to check this one out. I hear it's very good. And the manga's ended, so, you know. Also done, like, the opening was done by Creepy Nuts, so, yeah. Overlord 4. Overlord 3. Overlord 2. I've only seen the first season of Overlord. I liked it. And then I, like many shows, just didn't have time to watch the rest of it, so we'll come back to that. Overlord has scissored legs. Oh, I know what you just said there. Yeah, I just realized what you meant. You meant the lizard sex thing. That's like the only thing I heard about it. Or the fact that there's like a succubus who's a virgin. Which I think is the funniest gag you could actually do for that type of character. I'm sorry for making you read that out loud. Don't worry, it's fine. I think most people know about that if they know anything about Overlord, I guess. Tomodachi game. This looks terrible. I gotta check it out. It's gotta be, I don't know, a debt repayment game. Alright, move on. I never watched. I think my sister made me watch like one episode of this. And then I never followed it up. I hear it's good. I mean, I should like it. The other stuff I like. Like those types of rom-coms. Made in Abyss Season 2. They're making a new one? This is great. I don't have anything to say about Made in Abyss other than it's fucked up, dark, and I love it. The movie. There was a movie. The movie's very good. I really like that movie, and they did that justice. And the TV show, obviously, being great. I actually got to see the recap movies in Japan. I saw one of the recap movies in Japan, the first one, and I was like 1 in 5 people in that screening, and it was like a mum taking her 2 kids to watch it. I was like, oh, I guess that would make sense. A parent would see that see that poster and be like, yeah, this looks like a cute adventure story, and take their kids to see it. Thankfully, the first movie's the first half, and the second half is, you know, the second half of season 1. So the first half of season 1 is the first movie recap, right? And so that means the really fucked up dark stuff didn't happen in that first movie. But yeah, obviously the sequel did. So I don't know. A great series. A very, yeah, it's insanely good for world building, and I think this would be a great setting for a Souls-like game. Sadly, they didn't make a great game out of this series. I convinced my sister to play it because I didn't know if it was a good game or not. And she didn't like it, I don't think. I don't remember. Maybe you all saw her play that game. But I remember convincing her to go play it because I was like, I don't know if this is a good game. Can you, like, try it? You, like, Made in Abyss. And I remember tuning in for 5 seconds and she, like, fell and died horrifically, and it made me laugh. And then I was like, oh man, that's probably a big waste of money. I don't know. Maybe the game's good. I don't know. I might try it out myself. I feel like I should now that I am a, what you call those things, a streamer. Let me just check my watch. 45. How is it 45%? So this is slow. Am I using the right charger? Sorry, I'm going off about it. But yeah, Made in Abyss, great series. Is this? I'll keep an eye on it. I'm reading the manga. The manga's also great, but yeah, obviously it's not. I feel like I need to know someone well enough to recommend it. Adult. It's weird to explain Made in Abyss because it's like it's just dark and fucked up in a lot of places. It does have a problem with like some weird questionable fan service stuff. I don't even know if it's fan service, but there was a scene with a toilet and it was alive, and it was like, I don't need to see this. It was in the manga specifically though. I don't remember, or maybe I shut it out of my memory, but yeah, I ain't going into detail about that. That's it. Yeah, I don't know. I need to know someone's taste before I can recommend it. YouTube is way slow compared to Twitch. Yeah, I don't know why. I tried playing around with the settings, but YouTube just seems to be slower than Twitch in general. If I hit modify, what happens? It's on good quality, but I think the stream will be slow as a result. In terms of like... Right, Sis has the same issue. Okay, I thought so. That makes sense. Yeah, my sis. Yeah, I can imagine who else. Yeah, no, that's fair. Sorry, I just realized I'm replying to you on a delay. Oh yeah, some people do that. Another trick I find is lowering the quality to 720p. That's how because I used to watch like Nintendo streams when they do whenever they do their directs, and I found that streaming at 720 does speed things up. Partly because it's like, I don't know, it just loads quicker. I did it because I noticed that like I kept being spoiled on upcoming games by my friends because they are on a faster stream of some sort. So yeah, try that 720p. You don't need to see Rent a Girlfriend in 1080p. That's kind of, you deserve better. Claymore. I haven't seen Claymore. I've started reading Berserk though, and it has a similar kind of vibe. Yeah, I do agree with that, actually. So yeah, I could recommend that. I could recommend Made in Abyss to people who like that kind of stuff. Okay, I don't need to watch this after what people talked about when it came to Rent a Girlfriend, so I watched the first season. I liked it, but I also don't think I can watch more of that main character, so we'll leave it there. Uncle from Another World has... I read the manga. I haven't watched the anime, to be more exact. Has anyone seen this one? This one's great. Like the actual premise is just an uncle wakes up from a coma one day, and he basically was in another world the whole time, and the whole premise is him reciting stories to his, like, not his son, it's like his nephew, sorry, about how it went, and he has magic powers and whatnot. I love that idea. It's a very funny manga. Yeah, I'll give the anime a try. I like what I saw of it. So you felt too bad for it. You shouldn't. Well, okay, maybe you should. He's kind of a weird one. It's partly because for every bad thing that happens to him, lots of good happens to him in exchange. He's like the guy who he's like fails successfully is probably the best way to describe his character. That's a fun little isekai. Yeah, I can recommend that one. Speaking of isekai, I don't know if this is isekai. This is more like a reverse isekai premise to an exchange, to an extent. It didn't feel like he had anything good happen. Maybe I should give it another shot. Maybe. It's mostly that his luck with women is so much better, and various other things that made me laugh. So, and he seems to take it. He seems to take every bad thing to heart and tries his best. He's a good uncle. It's such a funny concept. Your boy Coming. Has anyone seen this? This has like the best opening of 2022. I obviously won't play it, but yeah. For me, it was a very comedic anime. Yeah. This one's great. I like this a lot. But also because I like Jugalion. Obviously, they can't call him that, but well, actually, they can. But this is such a funny idea, though. The OP is a banger and the show is entertaining. That's all I really can say about it. Yeah. Aharon-san. This show was made for me, I think. Like, this is a funny rom-com in general. Partly because the premise is... Usually it's like, in these types of school setting rom-coms, it's usually like... one character of the two is playing the straight man, but both of these are not the straight man. Let me think of a better way to word that. It's basically like two neurodivergent people hanging out, and it's a lot of fun. Because the antics and comedy is just like turned up to the max. Aharon-san is... Oh, Aharon-san, Yaoi, no, Yaoi, oh no, it's a girl and a guy. So the premise is that Aharon, the girl, doesn't actually... no one can hear her. She can barely talk. And the guy doesn't know how to interact with people, but he tries his absolute best to interact with her because it's the first person he interacts with. And yeah, it's genuinely sweet. I won't lie, this show made me feel emotional at times. Also, this, I guess, not a big spoiler, but like this is one of those shows that has an ending, or like at least like a developing relationship. It actually goes somewhere whilst being a really, really funny rom-com. Highly recommend it. There's like, I could think of a lot of gags in this show I don't want to spoil. But basically, like, it's kind of like the guy's galaxy braining the situation too hard, and they both do really funny things. And they announced a sequel just for me. They made a second season just for me. I'm excited for it. But yeah, the first season, yeah, if you're looking for something to genuinely have a good laugh at, please watch Aharen-san from my sake. I don't know many people who watched it. I watched it on my own, found it fun. I messaged some friends like, hey, I need you to watch this with me. And I made them watch it, and God, I love this show. It's nice. Had a good laugh. And it's an entertaining watch with people. If you can get people to watch it. Oh, I was like, oh man, I still got like half an hour to stream, and then suddenly JoJo appeared. Yay! I hope you enjoy it, Pave Dreamer. Oh, sorry, to clarify, it's not an office duo. They're in a high school setting. Which is even funnier because... the two... I get it, though. I would have assumed that, too, just looking at the poster. God, I have so many funny gags. I didn't want to spoil it. Just watch it blind. I guarantee you'll have a fun time. Let me load it up. Yeah, no, they're in a school setting. See, you see... If you want an office show, this one, My Senpai is Annoying, is that show. So that's actually set in an office. Or My Tiny Senpai. I don't know, that poster makes me laugh every time. But yeah, if you're looking for an office thing, yeah, Aharen-san's a completely different thing. Aharen-san's the type of show that kind of came and went, and everyone just forgot it existed. It was one of those under the radar shows, which is why I was genuinely surprised they made a second season or announced one. Right, we're going back. Are we doing this? We're gonna do the JoJo's, aren't we? Give me a second, I'm yawned. I don't think I have anime. Aharen-san, isn't she a teacher? No, she's a student. That's really funny if people... Man, I can't believe the poster kind of could trick people. That's really funny though. Sorry. Yeah, so there is a teacher who coughs up blood a lot because she can't handle the wholesomeness of the two characters. And then she almost dies a few times from coughing too much blood. That's a running gag. Let's go to JoJo. JoJo with peak no comments. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I'm not. My yawning isn't in reaction to what you just said. I was just conveniently, just a coincidence. I was yawning at the time. I heard so much about JoJo. I feel like I'm missing out on something important. I used to be in the boat where I didn't care about JoJo. It's a commitment. I'll guarantee. I can say that. Like, you have to like. I guess that says for any long-running shonen, right? Because I'd be, like, you know, how I got into Jujutsu Kaisen, even though that's not the greatest example, or Hunter x Hunter, the first time. I wish I could rewatch Hunter x Hunter blind again. It's in that category for me of if you start, you're in for a ride. For me though, I'm in the boat where JoJo didn't really kick in for me until Part 3, where the stands were introduced. And I think I could be wrong because it's not listed here. Oh no, it is listed here. No, it's not. Let me just double check. Yeah, Hammond is actually a cool ability as well. Hammond was an ability that was introduced in the second season that disappeared from the face of the earth after Stans was introduced. But yeah, it really depends what you want from JoJo. Because I've been thinking about this a lot. Where I'm like the type of person who says, "Well, you could just probably watch part 3 and then you can piece together what happened back in part 1 and 2 if you really don't want to watch it." But I could be wrong. Netflix released the movie recap of the first 2 seasons as movies, but it's not listed here. I didn't imagine it. I watched the actual show, but I knew of it. And when I said, "Oh, I'm gonna pick up JoJo again," I ended up watching those recaps to remind myself what happened. They exist. They're on Netflix, right? I don't know if it's real or not. Did I imagine that? But yeah. I can't rank JoJo's because part 2 and 1 are together. Give me a second, I got something stuck in my teeth. I'll worry about that in half an hour. Let me go to part 3. JoJo is also kind of tricky to recommend people because I think I talked to my sister about this. I'm pretty sure I talked about it on stream before with her. That JoJo's kind of that. You need to recommend it correctly. Because the way people recommend JoJo can be quite obnoxious in a way that I can totally understand someone like my sister being put off by it. Like, you should watch JoJo. It's the best anime that's ever existed. It's the peak Kino, like that kind of like, and yelling JoJo memes. I don't know. I'm recalling very specific people I knew who would do that. But once you make the plunge, I think you will enjoy it. Part 3 for me is just entertaining. You're right, it is a bit slow in pacing, and a lot of it is villain of the week. But I think when they introduce stands and the whole concepts of stands is fun, and how interesting different types of like different types of people. Well, it's how interesting Araki writes for the stand abilities. No one. You could make up your own stands and original characters if you want, but Araki like really does a very good job at selling you on different types of characters with different abilities. You're telling me that I shouldn't be telling people to watch the muscular half-naked men fighting anime show. Depends on the person you're telling that to. Hey, if they're into big muscular men that are sweating and fighting, to be fair, JoJo gets progressively more gay as the seasons go on. Especially in like part 5. Especially part 5. So yeah, Stardust Crusaders is great. I'm annoyed that I have to list it like this because like I gotta add part 3 is split up into 2 because it's almost 50 episodes long. Sequel, Diamond is Unbreakable. That's where the show went from looking... I mean, JoJo always looks cool to me no matter what season it is, so what I'm about to say, I don't want to make it sound like a diss. Like, Diamond Unbreakable became more flamboyant in a way, while still being cool. And then, yeah, Golden Wind just unleashes everything. I think that's the thing about like part 3, part 4. I don't even know how to recommend a trailer because I kind of just picked up a random. I think I just picked up the first few episodes. I think the thing with part 1 that I think people get drawn into is how ridiculous the premise is, or how over exaggerated the characters are. It is very daunting. Each season has its own little like style. So part 1 is, I'm gonna say, more similar to like old school Castlevania vibes, because it is literally about vampires, that first season. And then the second season, okay, maybe the second season did get pretty gay too. There's a lot of, nah, it was a very 80s style, which I really liked. Part 2 is entertaining. Part 3 is a fun, kind of like road trip adventure story. And part 4, I guess the easiest way to describe part 4 is that it's like Persona 4. Like, if you know what Persona 4, it's got that kind of energy, but kind of to the nth degree. And a lot of the some of my favorite episodes of JoJo is in part 4. I'm very, if you know which one I'm talking about, I'm specifically remembering, I won't spoil it. It involves an alien and turning into dice. One of my favorite episodes ever, because it went from 0 to 100 and it wasn't even a part of the main plot. It just went off the rails in such a comedic way that I will never forget that episode for as long as I live. God, yeah, part 4 is great. And then part 5, yeah, so part 4 is like a city, like a, it takes place in a village city kind of thing. I'm not good at selling it. I said it's like Persona 4 kind of setting style. It takes place in a town, basically. Well, it says city right there. It says city right there. And it tells the different stories, different characters. And then part 5 is my favorite of all of them. Because it's got everything I love about JoJo packed into one. On top, that one's set in Italy. It's about the mafia. And that's when I caught up with the show. I was watching it. I started watching JoJo for a few months while this was airing, and when I caught up to this, I was so sad that I got to near the end and had to wait weekly. Yeah, and then it leads to Stone Ocean. I like Stone Ocean. I probably will revisit that. I just didn't like the way it was released, because I think like Netflix like dropped 12 episodes and then you had to wait a while, and then they dropped another 12 episodes, and I was suddenly like realizing to myself, oh, this show would have worked better if it was weekly, because no one talked about this as much as the other series, and that's because it wasn't airing. It was kind of like, I know that sounds like hypocritical coming from me, because I just talked about how I enjoyed binging it, but I felt that would have worked better in its favor. I would have preferred this as, I'll probably revisit and watch the entirety of part 6 in one go, but yeah, part 6 takes place in jail. In police custody. It's a great show. I do apologize to Pave Dreamer, though. You must be very confused at why the settings and characters keep changing. That's because the generations of and main character changes. Yeah. But yeah. Second and third core. That's really confusing that they called that part 2 that. Yeah, I think everyone agrees on it. The manga is a better version. I haven't read the manga of it. So I probably will get that a read. I do own the entirety of part 1 and 2 and half of 4. I stopped because buying manga is expensive, and then I seriously need the budget for the next few months. So I'm doing my best not to buy anything until then. Also because I lurk on eBay, and the best way to buy JoJo manga is through there, because someone puts a bundle for a cheap price. Like I got 5 volumes of JoJo Part 4, and just for context, the manga versions of this is actually like a hardback cover, and they're quite big. And I got all of those for 30 quid. Now, it's just worth noting that one of those usually costs from like £14 upwards, from my understanding. Like, individually, because they're big hardback copies, aren't they? So yeah, that's why my advice, if you want to buy manga, lurk eBay until someone puts up a thing you want. Fun. The JoJo manga exists in such pretty bindings. I will for sure buy manga when I graduate. That's a good idea. Because thankfully JoJo is popular. It's released by Viz, and it will not go out of stock anytime soon. I have a weird amount of knowledge in different publishers and finding out if something's gonna last or not. Like for example, like Seven Seas, the publisher. I mostly know them as the manga publisher that releases Yuri, but they also do other things. And Yen Press, where they print things for a certain amount of time and then they kind of stop printing it. I was trying to get my hands on Scum's Wish, the manga by Yen Press, but they're unfortunately very rare to get nowadays. And when I emailed, I like thought, you know what would be easy? I could just email them. So I emailed Yen Press and they got back to me in like a month later, where they just said, yeah, no, we're not printing these anymore. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. But yeah, Viz Media tends to be, at least with popular shonen stuff, they'll keep printing it, so you don't need to worry about like them having a shortage on that anytime soon. But yeah, that's all the JoJo discussed, so we're moving on. This is confusing. I watched the first 2 seasons of this, and then I didn't watch anything else. So I'll probably get to... I didn't add that to a favorite. I'll probably get to that another time. I enjoyed it. Recommend it, though, if you're into that kind of thing. If you're mad about Rent a Girlfriend and you want to watch something that's good. Well, I don't know. Some people might not like this show either. I can totally get why. It's a very... I mean, it's a harem to an extent. I think this is just one of the better written ones for what it's doing, and it has a fun premise. Yeah, for that very particular category of shows, if you're into that, this is one on the higher end of, yeah, this is fun. I like this one. I might make a scale or like a tier list of that, but I don't want to piss off people, so probably better just leave it at that. My stepmom's daughter is my ex. This doesn't look anything special, but I just think the title is ridiculous. My stepmom. You know, this would be even funnier or better if the premise was my stepmom is my ex? Question mark, question mark, question mark. There, you got my attention now. Give me some wild ass plots like that. I really like the opening to this song. I just like, for some reason, the full opening played in a playlist on YouTube once, and I really, really liked it. So yeah, I'll add that to the thing because it made me enjoy it. To Your Eternity. Wow, they're doing it for... I know nothing about this, but all I do know is that it's the creator of Silent Voice, right? Yeah, it's the creator of Silent Voice, the manga. So I'll probably give that a try. Second season, I made a 3rd season. That's cool. So yeah, I give that one a try just purely on that basis. No one else watched this show but me. What has anyone else watched Akabe Sailor Uniform? This is, in my opinion, an underrated gem that deserves a bit more credit. The premise is a girl starting. Well, she's starting school for the first time. I guess middle school, or was it high school? No, I'm pretty sure it was middle school. And the whole premise is, oh, I really like the uniform there. I want to go there because her mom went to that school. And so her mom actually makes the uniform for her. And she's all excited and it's really fun. And she goes into the school only to find out that the school uniform has changed because she's basing it off the photo her mom had way back. And even her mom didn't realize that the uniform has changed. But, and so everyone's got their eyes on her, like, well, who is this? And the show just gets really good. It's basically like her in the class where every episode, it's kind of episodic where she goes to different types of different characters and their little stories. Actually, I will play a trailer to that. Let me pause that. Let me zoom in here and then play this. Alright, let's hit play and just full screen it. Oh, the music's great as well. Yeah, great show. Yeah, but in the same category of things like, yeah, Place Further in Your Universe, or Laid Back Camp, or even a K-On! Is probably a good example. If you're wondering, the animation is done by Cloverworks because the show, I think, that aired immediately after this one was Dress Up Darling. Another thing that studio worked on. So the animation's very good in this show. I think this got overshadowed by Dress Up Darling as a result of the timing, but yeah, it was highly recommended. It's a lot of fun and probably one of the better slice of lives, and very few people know it existed. I watched it completely randomly and I was like, wait, hold up, this is fire. Why do I keep finding good stuff that no one's talking about? Yeah, big recommendation from me. Oh yeah. I read the manga for this one, Love After World Domination. So this is the premise of like a Sentai Ranger thing. Basically, like, you know, I guess the better example, you know, Sentai or Power Rangers is what if the villain and the Red Ranger hooked up. But the premise here is that they're doing it secretly. The villain and the Red Ranger are secretly dating, but they still have to maintain the whole premise of villain of the day kind of thing. Or I guess villain of the week to be more exact. I read the manga. I really like it. I haven't checked out the anime, so I'll give it a try. I have actually, because this is actually based on one particular episode of Sentai Rangers. More specifically, Car Ranger, where it's based on an episode where the villain, and she basically falls in love with the Red Ranger. But she doesn't actually understand her feelings. And for a show that I watched mostly for comedy, it was the one episode where I literally said wow out loud because I was kind of like flabbergasted the way how serious and weirdly like well shot that episode was. Like it took the topic of love very seriously, and how, at least in the Car Ranger show, the premise was the episode was like Red Ranger trying to figure a way to like reject her without hurting her feelings. But from her perspective, she's not human. She's from another world. She's a bad guy, and she doesn't understand what love is. So she's trying to process all that, and it's done very tastefully. I don't know. I was very shocked to find that out, and I watched it by coincidence. I was watching it, and I was like, "Wait, this show is what?" And then I looked it up and found out like this manga is the reason why that like spawned as a result was inspired by that episode from a show many years ago. It's kind of nuts. I like stuff like that. I know there's another Sentai Ranger show that's out, the Red Ranger Isekai, so I want to give that a try. We got 10 minutes, so maybe I can do it like a flash round. I haven't seen this. I haven't even seen the original, so maybe I should go do that first. 195 episodes. Yeah, I gotta do that after Ranma. Oh god, that's gonna be a while. Witch of Mercury. I like this show. This is like the Gundam show that got me into proper Gundam. So I have a bit of a special place. It has a special place in my heart. If you haven't seen it and you're not a Gundam person, you should go give it a try. At least give the TV show's first episode a try. I think that would be enough to get you interested in it. Personally. I really liked that first season. My only criticism is that I think the second season needed a few more episodes to cook, but I still enjoyed it overall. And it does have an ending. But yeah, I was saying to my friends, the show needed like 35 episodes to pad out the additional branching story stuff that happens in it. Again, I'm not a big like Gundam person. My only other experience of Gundam is watching the entirety of Gundam Build Fighters, because that show is just a fun show. Even though I guess if you watch Gundam, a lot of that required a lot of like, how do I describe it? I think for me, Gundam Build Fighters reminded me too much of like the first season of Pokemon, but like it took different approaches and actually has an ending. Because it's about a boy who wants to be like his father, who's missing. I think he's like a world champion and he disappeared, and it sounds like I want to be a world champion one day. And like it does all the story beats that the first season of Pokemon did, but actually did it in a way that was like, oh right, this is actually going to reach a conclusion, as opposed to Pokemon, which went on forever. Well, that eventually ended, but you know what I mean. Build Fighters is a fun toy commercial. Also that too. I think I'm trying to sell this to people who don't watch Gundam or even care about it, because if you don't, you probably would like these. I'm not saying that makes it less Gundam, it's just that from my experiences, Build Fighters was a fun... Yeah, Build Fighters is a sports anime, and Witch of Mercury is a Gundam show, but it's kind of shrouded in a high school setting for the early parts. Also, Witch of Mercury is very gay, but that's not to say the rest of Gundam hasn't had that homoerotic nature with the guy characters fighting and straggling each other. I haven't seen the old Gundam, I just know various friends who post two certain characters punching each other and telling me that's yaoi, so take that as you will. Yeah, I think I saw the first season of Takagi, and I liked it. Yaoi, yeah. To be fair, like a lot of the fan base was women as well back then, who was really into the Char Amuro pairing. That's the one. Where like, yeah. But yeah, we'll get to that. We've got 7 minutes. Can I do this in time? I need to check this season out. I finished this show. Has anyone seen this show? Yeah, no joking. The Fujoshi fan base actually did save Gundam in a lot places from what I've seen. Mad respect to them. And then eventually, yeah, Witcher Mercury came out, and then, yeah. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! On crack. Like, if you like, maybe Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good example. Season 0 Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a weird one, because it's based on more on the manga, where, like, it's a lot darker, and Yami, the other guy in the Millennium Puzzle, is like evil to some extent, and is actually killing people. Kakaguri is like Yu-Gi-Oh! On crack. Yeah, it's over the top scenarios where everyone's galaxy braining their way out. The premise is the main girl. It's a school of gambling, basically, and your livelihood is based on how well you do in poker and all sorts of, like, the hierarchy is based on your skill and how good you are at games, basically. And yeah, the main girl lives off being put on the edge. She's horny, but specifically for being put in situations where she's about to lose it all, but she somehow wins regardless. The other premise way I could describe it is everyone's fucking cheating, and she finds a way to beat the cheaters regardless and still comes out on top. As well as other things that she does to relieve that excitement. I don't know how to say it. I would just recommend it. It made my mouth drop a few times, but I kind of enjoyed it. I was watching some of this. I can't remember where I got to. But it's a fucking fun show. Also, yeah, the character designs are great. Yeah. Next one. Do It Yourself. I like this show. I don't have much to say about it, but it's a nice slice of life about a bunch of girls in a not so distant future, like putting together a club where they just make stuff out of DIY. It's kind of like in the setting where technology is more prevalent, but that's more of a backdrop to the actual slice of life setting. I don't know. I like it. It's nice. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I don't have anything super positive to say about it, other than it's in that I put it in the category of laid back camp, and yeah, encouragement to climb, K-On! Yeah, one of those types of shows. Also because the main character is called Serafu Yua. Do it yourself. You get the pun. It's and she says that every episode. So right. We're almost done. We'll move on. Science isn't. So I tried to prove it. Oh, it's the sequel. Is that what it was? A sequel to this one? Okay, I'm gonna put this on my planning list. Princess Connect. I watched the first season of that. I enjoyed it. I'll give a second season a try because people told me that the second season is very good. To planning. Shadow House. I think someone recommended this to me in the past. I saw the opening. Or was it the ending? It was very good. So I'll probably give that a try at some point. Alright. Oh no, this is... Oh no, I'm not doing this. Arknights. Have you seen Made in Abyss? Yeah, I actually talked about that earlier, funny enough. Yeah, big recommend. First season's very good, and the second season's really good, and the movie is also very good, or even the recaps. Okay, so this is an ONA. That's why I was really confused, because I thought this was an airing show. It was technically an airing show. It just didn't air on TV, for what I've gathered. I liked this, but I didn't stick with it towards the end. I think it's because there's a lack of blood in this show, which is a bit strange. But I need to revisit it to give it a proper try, and then I'll give this one a try, a sequel a try another time. Okay, that's thankfully not as complicated, because when I click here, I see all this and I panic, but these are all character stuff. So I don't need to worry about that. I finished season 1. No, I didn't finish season 1. Okay, no, I clearly didn't. I think I already talked about Laid Back Camp. I guess Eurocamp is a better way to call it. And my brother owns the... No. Okay, let me tell you. You see the scarf that Rin is wearing here? I own that scarf. I bought that in Japan. And my brother has it. He's taken it and he hasn't given it back for a long time. I'm not bitter about it. I kind of told him he can have it as long as he needs. And then I never bothered to ask for it back. But it's an expensive scarf. I might just buy another one and get it over with. It's a nice looking scarf. Our friend bought it as well. I agree. Nice. Your friend has good taste. It's a nice scarf. I think I was going to talk about this show quite briefly because, yeah, it's 8 o'clock. Let me just check something, actually. I don't think I have my usual watch at this point. I'll just going to check my Discord messages. No, I haven't got a message. No, my friend is busy today with a lot of things going on, so I told him not to worry about it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm in no... There is no anime to watch today. That's a bit sad, actually. No, I got game dev to do. I got like a prank game project I'm working on for some friends. Feels like it is a healing anime. Yeah, Eurocamp is in the Laid Back Camp is that type of show. Where this is probably the hardest show to watch for me because I get really relaxed and I've relaxed so much that I can only watch one episode at a time. I have to be... My dream is to, if I move out to a bigger place... Maybe I should do monetization. No, in the future, I'll have like my own place with my own sofa and a TV. And it'd be nice to be able to sit on the sofa, wrap myself in a blanket during winter, make a hot cocoa or something and watch this show in that scenario. That's that type of show for me. I can't watch it crouched while typing on a computer right now. So yeah, I have a few shows like this. There's another show I think is Super Cub, which is in the same category as I was watching a few episodes of it, but because it's so relaxing, I didn't make very far with it. Pog Game Dev. I'm glad you're looking forward to more game dev stuff. I've got a lot of game dev stuff. I've actually watched that one. Demon Girl Next Door, Season 2. Time for Hidamari and Aria. My brother really, really likes Aria. It's one of his favorite animes ever. He's not an anime person these days. He kind of watches all sorts of films and is kind of more involved with that stuff these days with his what he plans to do with his course and whatnot. I don't know how much I can say about that, but like he loves his animation more than anyone I could possibly imagine. And he really, really likes Aria back then. So I will look forward to watching Aria one day. Time for Hidamari and Aria. Yeah, Hidamari. Hidamari is also a show I want to commit to, but that's also one day. Demon Girl Next Door. Read Aria. I will. Don't you worry. I don't have much to say about this show. This is like every other slice of life I watched. But I had a good time with it. It was one of those shows I put on during my lunch breaks on work when I'm like coding, and just need something in the background. Well, that's not true. When you have subtitled anime in the background, it's hard to not look at the screen. So yeah, it's a good show. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. It's like every slice of life you've seen before. This is just one of those. Watch along stream. I want to do a watch along stream, but I said I would need to gain enough followers for that. So if you like my content and is interested in watching a watch along one day, yeah, like and subscribe. I don't know how to advertise myself, but I will say credit where it's due. I have hit over how many followers on Twitch? Channel, go to channel. 42 followers on Twitch. And I've hit almost 40 on I'm 40 on 40 on sorry, I'm blanking out. I hit almost 40 on Twitter, but I don't really count those because I know some of them are bots and people who want to sell goods to me, which is fine. People gotta make their money somehow, but I get excited when people follow me. Theo Discord when? I think I won't be doing a Discord anytime soon unless I get a following so big that it needs to be contained somewhere. I'm partly doing it out of like I don't know. I'm not a Discord person usually. I'd only use Discord if I'm doing like meetups with friends or I'm doing other things. Discord I would only do if I had enough people like able to manage that and handle things. Understandable, do whatever you like. Sorry, I'm not like hesitating like I'm declining. It's more like I have actually thought about these things before. Okay, good night and thank you for the stream, Theo. Good night, Loven Dark. I hope you have a lovely night wherever you may be and hope you have good sleep. I'll be talking for a bit longer because I got no plans tonight and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got like 5 tabs here, so hopefully we'll finish up soon. Do stuff at your own pace. Yeah, I'm just kind of excited that I'm getting more stuff, people watching stuff now. I'm having a good time. Hey, it's Fire Umbrella. Yeah, here it again towards the end of the stream as well. How are you? Welcome. I'm actually going to be here for a bit longer, so I'm here to vibe. Well, I'll be here for until 30:30, so I'm going a bit overtime usually. We're mostly because we're almost done with the 2022 anime. But I mean, if there's any anime you want me to discuss or bring up, go ahead, shoot ahead. I hope you had a good week so far. And yeah, come join me with all the rail decks. Have I not talked about that I'm like a huge rail decks person back then? I read every single book up until the New Testament and then read all the I'm not up to date with the Railgun manga, but I do watch the Railgun anime, and I think my opinions on Index as an anime is that it's a disastrous mess. That's unfortunate. I did not realize how much there is. The first season, I think it does a pretty solid job at convincing you to watch the rest of it, and then there's a second season that starts to show its mistakes. It's a weird one because it's like Sister Act is better in Railgun. Basically that. The Sister Arc is a novel in Index, a single novel, and Index adapts novels. So a certain magical index is an adaptation of a light novel series, but because these are full story books, they feel a bit rushed, some of the arcs, and it really shows in season 2. Season 2, and then season 3 is so bad that I really like the opening and ending to season 3, but I don't think you can comprehend what happens or make sense of it because of how much content is cut. It's It's bad when the director, I think, apologized publicly for it, but I don't even want to blame the director. That's not his fault. It's for the higher ups who made him adapt an insane amount of novels in one season. I think I said that before to my friends years back as someone who read all the novels, like, oh, they should adapt these very specific, like, novels in arcs. In, like, season 3 should have been season 5 or something, basically. Whereas the Railgun series is based on a manga. It has a lot of filler, but especially season 2, it's very well paced because it's adapting the sisters arc from the perspective of Misaka while including stuff from the novel. So that's why people really like Railgun season 2, myself included. Also, the director of that, I believe, directed Toradora and has always directed Railgun since season 1. And I've always stand by that he's part of the reason why Railgun just works. So, yeah, and season 3 of Railgun was really good too. No surprise, so yeah. And there's a season 4 that got announced. So yeah, everything Railgun's great. Everything Index is a bit, unfortunately, messy. I can't speak on it these days. I'm too old. I haven't caught up with the novels. Apparently, there's like even more novels after that. After like New Testament. New Testament's like a new generation. Oh, whatever. I'm not doing this. Sorry, I gotta read back to your chat. Sorry, I'll read back what you just said. Fire Umbrella. I just needed to go off a rant about bloody Railgun and Index. But I hope you enjoy it though. I'll keep an eye on what you're doing. Because you went through Date Alive, and I'm probably going to go through that too at some point. I've gone through season 2 of Date Alive, and then kind of dropped it after that. Not dropped it, I just fell off it, I guess. If you want unique anime style film, I recommend a movie called Hells. I think I haven't seen it, but I have seen pictures of it. Yeah, it's this one, the blue hair anime. Maybe I did see this. I need to rewatch it. I have a feeling I have seen it, but it came out in 2008. Holy shit, 2008. That's a long time ago. Almost 20 years ago. But, you know, I'll give it a rewatch and come back to it. Another film that the animation is crispy is Goodbye Donglies. I heard about this one, but I didn't see it. Goodbye Donglies. Okay. I think I seen some friends saw this in Scotland. For context, there's like a anime film festival in Scotland called Scotland Loves Anime, and they get the rights to like a lot of films that came out fairly recently, and then they show it in a cinema for like a few days. I think it's in 2 parts, Edinburgh and Glasgow, but like I think one of them does it for about a week. I don't know, I haven't been in years. I probably will go again at some point, not to dox my ass, but you know, I do miss going to a cinema to watch anime, like multiple films at once, and seeing people's reactions. It depends on the film, I guess, because I think I talked about it before, but like there are certain anime films that I particularly enjoy in a more quiet screening. So like The Colors Within is a film that is heavily reliant on like the sound mixing, and it's very quiet in a lot of places on purpose. That's like part of the film. If you watch Silent Voice or you watch Liz and the Bluebird, you'll know what I mean by that. But in that particular film, it was like that. And so when I watched it the first time, It was great. Not many people were in the screening, and everyone who went to watch that film went there to watch the film. And then I found there was another screening somewhere else, and I messaged my friend. I was like, "Oh, you haven't seen this film, so do you want to go see it?" So we went to see that film again the second time, and this is my rant to complain about people in the cinema. And there was a family in the far back, and I don't have a problem if you're eating popcorn, but they were eating it out of like a plastic wrapping, and I thought, you could hear it for a bit and then it goes away. They were crunching that and wrapping that popcorn for like an hour at the movie, up until like multiple people had to like say, make noises to say shut up or be quiet. They ruined the movie. But thankfully it was my second time watching, but I was like, I'm very self-conscious, so I tend to eat. I now eat all my popcorn in like one go. I kind of just went off on one, didn't I? Just said sorry. My point is, if you're going to watch an anime movie, don't take your kids and bring bags of popcorn that they will spend forever eating in the one location where everyone can hear you. Get out of my... Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna add this to planning to watch, because I did have this on my watch list. Somewhere. I have like a notepad for films that came out last year, and I... Probably somewhere on my desktop, but we're not going to talk about my desktop. My desktop has like hundreds of images that need sorting from downloading and screen capping a lot of anime to spam at my friends. Movie that is also beautiful is Maquia. Oh man, Maquia. Now, I have a very fond memory of that film. God, 2018. Was that 7 years ago? I love this movie. It's really good. I've grown... Oh, this made me cry. I think most people would cry to this film. Yeah, it's about a girl who's a different type of person, like a species that can live very long, and yeah, she picks up an orphan baby, a human baby, and then the movie's about like just her raising that boy, despite the fact that she can live very, very long. It's similar, I guess. A similar premise would be like it's a similar kind of idea of like Frieren, about the idea of like outgrowing everyone around you and everyone around you dying. It's quite sad. The movie's very good though. But the movie that made me cry in such a long time was Blue Giant. Let me check. Blue Giant. I think I got advertised. I'll give that a watch. Because that got advertised, I think, as like a Blu-ray release over here in the UK. I said I had a unique experience with Maquia, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering that with Chew 2. Chew 2, like Chunibyo, the movie, because I think I watched both movies around the same time. Chunibyo is because they had... It was at a MCM Con. It's basically a Comic-Con event over in London. And they had, like, something called a bus screening. And it was like... Basically, they were showing the film in a bus that was in the venue. Right when the Comic-Con MCM was ending. And I was like... This sounds like I imagined it, but this really happened. And we watched a movie in like on like bus chairs in front of a screening inside a bus. That's I can't remember if I've watched Maquia in the same setting. I'm pretty sure it was the Chunibyo movie, but that's fine. Let's check the others. I'll come back to the chat in a second. Slow Loop. Yeah, I said I will give this a watch. The only reason I have any kind of interest in it is because the Bocce the Rock, the band, is actually playing in the background in one of the episodes. And in, like I said earlier, vice versa, in Bocce the Rock, one of the characters is holding a keychain of the characters from Slow Loop, which I thought was a cute little thing. I like cute little references. It does a good enough job to advertise the show to me. So Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer is the best one of my favorite mangas of all time. It is the best thing I have read, and I own all of the manga. I cannot say the same about the anime, so we are gonna pretend this doesn't exist. Alright, moving on. Odd Taxi in the Woods. There's a new story. Odd Taxi is an extremely good show. I'd highly recommend it. Especially going into it blind. I don't have much to say about it because I feel like spoiling the premise is a bit tricky. It's about a cab driver and the things that happen around him. It jumps from different storylines. I put it in the same category as Beastars, probably because they're all furry characters. But yeah, I mean, it recommends Beastars, so yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, apparently they made a movie that adds extra stuff. The backdrop looks cool. I would recommend it. Like this banner sells it for me. God, that's a good show. Would personally recommend it. I saw it in theaters, and not just me. Almost 5-6 people were really sobbing. Oh wow, it must be good then. A lot of people love this movie as well. Oh, called Look Back. Yeah, yeah, Look Back was one of the best films of last year, or was it the year before? It feels like forever now. But yeah, I really like Look Back. It's great, and I hope they adapt because it's based off a one-shot manga. But there's another manga called Goodbye Eri, and I highly recommend that manga. But I kept thinking that's also a one-shot with a very well, that has a more. I can't really spoil the plot for that one. You kind of just need to watch it. It's basically about a guy making film, but it has a similar kind of energy in that it reminds you about like Look Back is about like chasing your dreams and in that case pursuing what art is and the importance of it and what you're going to prioritize and why people make art. Goodbye Eri is a similar kind of premise, but more akin to about how film is art and how we use film to tell interesting and unique stories depending on the perspective. That's the best way I could sell it without spoiling it. So hopefully they adapt that into a film because it's the same length as Look Back, the manga, and I think that would be brilliant to make as a film. So hopefully that comes out one day, if that's a thing. Primador. Oh wait, sorry. The new anime I want to check out is Lazarus. I think this was mentioned last time. Let me just double check that one in a sec. Because we're almost at the end. So I'll finish up these ones and then check that. Primador, this one's a weird one. Because it's a Key work. Does anyone remember Key? Key who does like Clannad and all that. It's one of those, but it's like an anime original premise. I started watching like a few episodes of this because my friend says it gets like really over the top towards the end. It hasn't done that. It's kind of okay, very, very, very okay at the moment. But also, I miss like Key stuff. I'm not saying that Key is dead. It's just like, you know, I remember Clannad, and I remember that making me cry a lot, and then Canon made me cry. And then the original Canon, which made me cry for different reasons, because, like, that fucking head at the end. Damn, that's where the infamous image of Ugu Am I Cute came from, if you're wondering. I don't even know if she actually says that. Did someone edit that? Like, is history being rewritten? Anyway, yeah. If you haven't seen Clannad, I guess I would recommend Clannad and Afterstory. It's probably one of the best works I've ever watched. Maybe I'm old and I think back on it, but yeah. Clannad is a classic, and I will never forget it. Afterstory. I rewatched it years later with friends and still hold up. I'm still glad it holds up. There's also Little Busters, but I'm in a weird boat with Little Busters because I played the game, and obviously, I think if you played the entirety of a visual novel and then watched the anime of it, adaptation of any of it, it's always going to be a weird case of like, oh, I prefer the visual novel because there's so much content in the visual novel you can't put in the anime. Little Busters was a pretty okay adaptation actually. I think I can only recommend it if you like stuff like Clannad and whatnot, especially Refrain. Refrain's very good. So yeah, I give credit to that. If you're looking for your yaoi, specifically, cool. There you go. Little Busters is the one. Rewrite's strange because I played the game and I know the original anime adaptation is not great, but apparently the sequel, Moon and Terror, is, so I might give that one a try. There's Angel Beats as well. Oh, Angel Beats. Remember Angel Beats? Planetarian is great. A lot of things here that will make people cry. Oh, they're making the Summer Pockets come out. Did that just air and I didn't see it? Oh, it's coming out this year. Damn, Angel Beats. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame. I wouldn't say it's a shame that they kind of went... I wouldn't say they went downhill, but it was in that case of, like, their newer stuff has never hit the same as, like, the other stuff. I think for Clannad canon's sake, it was adapted by KyoAni, and it seems like there's a lot of, like, liberties taken with what they adapted. So, yeah, that was also a thing. The OVAs are great. Yeah, I think Clannad and Clannad Afterstory is like my favorite of all the key works in terms of the anime side of things. If you're looking to like ugly cry at something, go watch that. It's the best experience I ever had watching something. Planetarian, I read the visual novel, because it's quite short, but they did adapt it. Yeah. So far I'm looking up the top ratings in my anime list, and turns out the One Piece OVA called One Piece Fan Letter is top 5 in their website. Right, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I haven't committed to watching or yet alone reading One Piece. Actually, I did try reading One Piece, but I can't commit to it because it's so long. Maybe one day when it ends, I'll embark on that journey. So many of these classics I have to rewatch to see if they hold up. I can only speak on... Actually, to be fair, I can speak on Little Busters and Clannad. I don't consider Little Busters a classic since it's not been that long. Yeah, so Clannad does hold up. I'll say that much at least. Angel Beats is tricky because some of the humor doesn't work on me anymore, and I don't know if that's because I outgrew the humor or I already know the jokes in advance. Angel Beats is such a strange, weird one, but I mean that still made me cry. So yeah, I think it still holds up. Non Biori, unaired 13th episode. But there's so much non Biori. Right. Well, I watched the first season of this. The problem with shows like this is that they all kind of blend into one. I'm just like, I do remember watching this. I don't think I finished it though. You know, let's put it to planning and I'll come back. I'll legally watch it somewhere. And then double check. And there's so much of this that I don't... These are shorts from what I remember. I watched the first one of that. And then, you know what? Because I don't even remember. It's been so long. I'll put that on the planning. And, okay, I think that's everything. So, last one. Oh man, this is embarrassing. I'm sorry, I did not mean to just... Oh my god. Admitting that I've seen some of these is kind of pulling myself out, so let's not talk about this. This one is actually kind of funny though. This is like a guy who reincarnates into a dummy head microphone. Well, he turns into one of those ASMR heads, those really expensive ones, and he's voiced by fucking what's his name? Where's his name? He's not listed here. Is he just? There he is, Sugita, the guy who does. Most people know him as the guy from Haruhi Kyon, or I guess in other people's cases, he's the guy for the main character, Gintama. Which has been a while since I've seen that, and I just realized the name's Gintoki, isn't it? Yeah, so imagine that voice, like, over-exaggerated to the nth level. The thing is, this is kind of a lie, because the first episode is that he is in a head, and then the next episode he's another. He's like another random object. I think the reason I bring this up is because at one point he turned into a fucking dog. I don't know. These are dumb shorts. This one made me laugh, so. Wait, no, this actually ended up with a Yuri relationship. This actually had a character confess, from what I remember. What? I don't even remember why I watched it, to be honest. I genuinely do not know. Probably like most of the reasons I watch things, because I watched everything randomly, thinking, Ogeza, that's the show I'm getting it mixed up with, even though these are completely different premises. Ogeza's just terrible. It's like, it's entertaining slop. It's the guy who voices, it's again the same voice guy, and the whole premise is him doing a Dogeza begging the girl to show their underwear, and they do, and they look at him disgustingly. That's pretty much it. But they made an OVA for this, where the guy got hit by a car and he isekai'd into a fantasy world, where he then, I think, asked to look at the boobs of an elf lady, and then they never followed it up. What a fucking weird, stupid show. I mean, I did this to me. It's my fault, really, to be honest. If I ever ask, why did you watch that? The answer is, I don't know. I wasn't even like, it's not like I watch these things because I'm like, I'm horny. No, if I wanted that, I could just look at hentai. I just do it because I'm just like, why? I need to know why that exists. And so I watch it and I go, what am I doing with my life? I'm in my 30s. At this stage in my life watching this. Anyway, sorry. Another show I looked up is Reborn as a Vending Machine. I think I talked about that briefly. That's a weird one. I haven't seen it, but I think it's because the premise is kind of way off the end of light novel isekai premises that I was like, you know what? I got a pass on that one. Though I kind of probably will watch it out of curiosity when I like most of the things I watch, so that'll be fun. Let's check the anime list real quickly, because I gotta make sure I didn't put anything as watched. Okay, I think No, that was supposed to be set to planning. There we go. Alright, so that's all correct. Man, I've got a lot of things to catch up on. Did I even set anything to pause? Oh yeah, I guess so. Boy band show that I didn't, like, super engage with. Oh, there's a lot of shows here. I've done pretty well for a guy who's watched anime up until 2022. Oh my god. I haven't seen... I've got so much anime to make a list out of. Let me check this one for you. Hiro no Kake. The Princess Saga. I think I've heard of this one. You know what? Okay, I've got lots of things to watch anyway. Why not? Oh. I got... What? Wait. Let's check. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. I got more completed than I did planning, so that's good. And I got one on pause, which doesn't really count. That feels like a meme at this point. I'm sorry, Argon Navis from Bang Dream. Again, they don't even call it that anymore. Bang Dream cut ties with that entire idea, and it's its own thing now. I think it died. I can't remember. I don't care enough to look it up. And then yeah. What is this music? Am I in Scotland? Okay, we're gonna wrap it up here, everyone, because I am sleepy. I got some game dev stuff to do. Ah. Here's an older anime that wasn't super popular back then. Oh, well, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. That's the one where there was a really nice muscle lady, and she was posted everywhere. And there was a girl with a gun, and they were on a train. I remember that. I was scolded by a farmer today, so the stream was a nice change. What? You don't deserve to be scolded by a farmer. Correction, unless you're into that kind of thing, but I'm guessing you're saying that as like a negative. I vaguely remember it. It was like was it zombies? Okay, I don't remember much of it. I just remember looking at it and being like, I think it was Wit Studio, wasn't it? Because for me, the thing I only knew about it at the time was like, they were like, no pun intended, riding off the wave of like success from the first season of Attack on Titan by doing their own original anime. And not many people liked it as much. I think that's why people watched it in the first place, yeah. And then it kind of just disappeared out of existence. Like, no one really did anything, and nothing happened. Did they make a movie? I vaguely remembered. I could look this up. Let me check this up and we'll call it a night. But thanks everyone for tuning in, whether it's late or early into the stream, and having fun talking about anime. I do genuinely enjoy this. This is the one part of my week where I feel a little bit at ease, even though I got a bit of a headache building up now, but that's because I don't usually have streams this long. Well, I'm glad I did. It's nice to see everyone here. Yeah, they made a movie. And I assume that movie's the end of it? Did they ever finish it? There's a prequel movie. Unless there's like an adaptation of the movie? Of the show? I don't know. It's been too long. Maybe I'll revisit it out of curiosity. The anime had a end. Okay, the fact that no one can remember it is kind of funny to me. This also made me think of God Eater as well, because that had an anime. I have a friend who really likes this anime. I played the game. I beat the first game on PSP. But yeah. But we're getting way too far down the rabbit hole. But we've done 2002, so next time we'll do 2021. Holy shit, there's a lot of anime. But hey, a lot of content for me to stream, I guess. As you can see, stuff has already been added, but that's because it's from later stuff. Me going backwards. I think, yeah, I think for that, for what you're saying, Coal Eater, sorry, it's not the most memorable anime for sure. It's just one that stuck with me personally. I think everyone has that type of show, because I have a show like that. For me, it was Kanan. Has anyone seen this? This is my weird show from back then that no one talked about after it aired, but I specifically remember it for one reason or another. This is a old one. Has anyone seen this? I think this is the show also back then where I like discovered Yuri was a thing. Because but like they explain the context of that is like this, there's a scene of the character holding hands with another girl staring up into the moonlight, and I distinctly have a very weird memory of this, watching this and thinking, wow, they're really good friends, and not realizing what was being implied in that scene. The Himojoshi arc. Yeah, I was like thinking back on him like, yeah, this show's hella gay. That probably, there's a lot of shows like that where I look back and went, wait a second. There's a lot more energy from some of these things that I just didn't realize. I heard someone else praise this, but yeah, it hasn't taken much space in public discourse. Yeah, it's because it's very old and it was like a one-time thing. Rie Okuda wrote this? She wrote Makia, by the way. There you go, there's your Makia connection. That explains a lot. I might revisit this with friends. I genuinely am curious if this holds up. Female protagonist, terrorism, assassins. Yeah, okay, there are stuff like that in there. Okay, I wasn't imagining it. Okay, it's one of those things where I think back, I'm like, man, I really said that out loud, huh? And I'm thinking back, I'm like, man, I just didn't know at the time. Revenge. The whole... Oh, is it like a spoiler? What are the red... What's the red bits? Is that like airsoft? No, it's not airsoft. People are literally shooting themselves and dying. People fucking die in this show. What the fuck is this review? I ain't clicking this. Remember 9/11 and the GWB years? What? I guess I'd put it in the same category of Licorice Recoil for that time. It had its... Or maybe more akin to Gunslinger Girl. That was more of an energy. Like a cross between Dark Herd and Black and Licorice Recoil. Remember 9/11? People can't stop making jokes about it. Anyway, that's not the point. I don't remember 9/11 happening in this show, but I can sort of see why. So, I don't know how you make that... The show has terrorism in it. That's kind of all I remember. You can attribute it to any kind of terrorism in real life. That's a funny ass review. I'll give credit to that. And maybe they're liking it for that reason. I don't want to like it in case someone calls me out one day, so we'll leave it there. I don't know what this one is. That's a nice aesthetic. Also assassins and girls with guns. I should watch more shows with girls and guns. Alright, sorry. I'm gonna wrap it up there, but thank you. I gotta go. We've hit a pretty good hallmark. I really do just need to rush to the toilet now, so Hope you have a lovely morning, day, afternoon, evening, and night, wherever and whenever you may be. And we'll be back here next week, same time. Thank you. Take care. And goodbye.